I never thought I'd say this, but sometimes life has a way of breaking you in places you didn't even know existed. My brother Adam was supposed to be the one person I could count on. We grew up together, shared a room, shared secrets, shared laughter. We even promised each other once that no matter what happened in life, we'd always have each other's backs. But life has a cruel sense of humor, and that promise became the biggest lie of all. Growing up, Adam was the golden child. He had the charm, the looks, and that effortless charisma that drew people in. Teachers loved him, girls adored him, and our parents, well, they saw him as the star of the family. I was the quieter one, more serious, focused on my studies and not much of a talker. I didn't resent him then. I thought it was just how things were meant to be. When I graduated college, I got a job at a finance firm in the city. Adam, on the other hand, jumped from one failed startup idea to another. He'd get some money from our parents, burn through it, then come asking for more. But my parents always bailed him out. They'd say, "He just needs time to find his path." I wanted to believe that too. When I met Sarah, everything changed. She was smart, independent, and had this spark in her eyes that made the world feel less heavy. We fell in love quickly, and within a year we got married. Adam was my best man. He stood beside me with that wide grin, clapping me on the shoulder as if he genuinely meant it when he said, "You deserve this happiness, bro." But beneath that smile was something darker. I didn't see it then. I was too blinded by love, too trusting. After the wedding, I noticed Adam visiting more often. At first it was fine. He'd drop by, have dinner with us, tell stories, and make Sarah laugh. He was good at that, making people laugh. But over time, his visits became more frequent, and I'd sometimes come home from work to find him already there, sitting with Sarah, sharing drinks or watching TV. I brushed it off, telling myself I was overthinking. Then came the cracks. Sarah started growing distant. The woman who used to wait for me with that warm smile now barely looked up from her phone. She was restless, irritable, and always found reasons to be out. I tried talking to her, but every conversation turned into an argument. She'd say I was too busy with work or that I didn't understand her anymore. I blamed myself. Maybe I had changed. Maybe I was too focused on providing, on being the stable husband. One evening, I came home earlier than usual. Adam's car was parked outside. I walked in, and the house was quiet, too quiet. I called out Sarah's name, no answer. I checked our bedroom, empty. Then I heard laughter from the guest room. That laughter, Sarah's laugh, cut through me like a blade. I froze outside the door, and what I heard next shattered everything I knew about love, loyalty, and family. Adam's voice, low, intimate. Sarah's giggle, soft and guilty. My world collapsed in that instant. I didn't storm in. I didn't scream or shout. I just stood there. It was like my body forgot how to move. After a few minutes, I walked out of the house, got in my car, and drove. I don't even remember where I went. Just that it was dark when I stopped, and I sat there for hours numb. When I finally confronted them the next day, neither denied it. Sarah just cried, saying she didn't mean for it to happen, and Adam, my brother, had the audacity to say, "It wasn't planned. We just got close. You weren't there for her." I wanted to hit him. I wanted to erase every memory we ever shared, but I didn't. I just told them both to get out of my life. Sarah left that night, and Adam followed her. My parents were devastated when they found out. My mother couldn't stop crying, and my father called Adam a disgrace to the family. For a year, I lived in silence. I filed for divorce, signed the papers, and tried to rebuild what was left of me. I didn't date. I didn't socialize. I just worked and existed. The nights were the worst. I'd lie in bed replaying everything. Every laugh, every look, every lie. Then one day, my father called me into his office. His health had been declining, and he'd been in and out of the hospital. He sat me down and said, "Your mother and I have made our decision. Everything we own, the house, the business, the investments, it's all going to you. Adam made his choices. He's no longer part of this family." I didn't argue. I didn't even feel proud. I just nodded. 2 months later, they passed away, one after another. First my mother, then my father. Losing them was another blow, but I buried them with peace in my heart, knowing they finally saw the truth. After the funeral, I found out that their estate was worth nearly $2 million. I didn't want it. Not really. What's money compared to a lifetime of broken trust? But it was what they left me, and I respected that. I moved back into my parents' old home. It was big, quiet, and full of memories I wasn't sure I could face. For months, I lived there alone. Until one afternoon, my doorbell rang. When I opened the door, my stomach twisted. It was Adam. He looked nothing like the man I remembered. His hair was unkempt, his clothes wrinkled, and his eyes hollow. He had Sarah standing behind him, holding a baby in her arms. A baby that couldn't have been older than a few months. My chest tightened. I didn't need to ask whose child it was. "Can we talk?" he said, his voice shaking. I should have slammed the door in his face, but part of me, some broken lingering part, wanted answers. So I let him in. They sat in the living room, awkward and tense. Sarah wouldn't even look at me. Adam cleared his throat. "We've been having a tough time," he started. "After Mom and Dad found out, no one wanted to help us. I lost my job. We lost our apartment. We've got nowhere to go. I was hoping, just for a while, you could help us out." I almost laughed. "After everything he came to me?" "You must be out of your mind," I said. "You destroy my marriage, betray our parents, and now you show up asking for help?" Adam lowered his head. "I know I messed up. I know I don't deserve it, but please, for the baby's sake." For a moment I looked at that child, innocent, unaware of the chaos that brought him into this world. Sarah shifted uncomfortably, finally whispering, "We just need a place to stay until we get back on our feet." I stood there in silence. Every part of me screamed no. Every scar, every sleepless night, every tear reminded me why I should throw them out. But something deeper, something buried in me whispered, "You're not like him." So I said, "You can stay for 1 week. That's it. After that, you're on your own." Adam nodded quickly, relief flooding his face. "Thank you, man. You won't regret it." But I already did. That week turned into 2, then 3. Adam started acting like it was his house again, eating my food, using my car, leaving things around. Sarah barely spoke, and when she did, it was only to ask for something. I felt trapped in my own home, surrounded by the ghosts of what they'd done. One night I overheard Adam talking on the phone in the kitchen. He didn't know I was there. His voice was low, angry. "He's got all the money, the house, everything. I'm not leaving empty-handed." That was it. That was the moment I realized he hadn't changed at all. I waited until morning. Then I packed their things, put them by the door, and told them to leave. Sarah cried, begging me to reconsider. Adam tried to argue, but I cut him off. "Get out," I said. "You used me for the last time." They left, slamming the door behind them. The house fell silent again. But I knew deep down this wasn't over. Adam was desperate. Desperate men do stupid things. And I was right. A week later, I came home to find my front door kicked open. The place was ransacked. Drawers pulled out, furniture overturned. My safe was missing. $2 million in inheritance, gone. And I knew exactly who did it. The moment I saw the empty space where the safe used to be, something inside me snapped. Not in rage, but in cold, bitter disbelief. After everything I had endured, after giving him shelter, food, and mercy he didn't deserve, he still found a way to stab me again. The police came within an hour. They went through the usual motions, dusting for prints, taking photos, asking questions. But I could tell from their faces they already knew what I knew. One of them looked at me sympathetically and said, "Any idea who might have done this?" I didn't hesitate. "My brother," I said. They found tire marks outside leading toward the main road. I gave them Adam's number, his last known address, and the plate number of my old car he had borrowed once. The officer nodded, scribbled notes, and told me they'd look into it. But as I stood there surrounded by the shattered pieces of my parents' home, I realized something that hurt more than the theft itself. I didn't want revenge. I wanted closure. I wanted peace. And Adam had taken that from me over and over again. 2 days passed. Then, early one morning, my phone rang. It was an unknown number. I answered, half expecting it to be a debt collector or telemarketer. But the voice on the other end froze my blood. "Hey, bro," Adam said, his tone hollow and shaky. I, I messed up." I didn't speak. I just listened. "I shouldn't have taken it," he continued. I didn't know what else to do." Sarah left. She took the baby and went to her mother's. "I'm alone. I don't even have gas money to get out of town." I finally said, "You stole $2 million, Adam." "It's gone," he whispered. "I tried gambling. Thought I could double it, maybe pay you back. But I lost it all. Every dollar." My grip tightened on the phone. "You're unbelievable." He started crying. I know, man. I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I need help. Please." I wanted to hang up. Every instinct screamed at me too. But some twisted part of me, the part that still remembered the little boy I used to play soccer with in our backyard, couldn't. "Where are you?" I asked quietly. He gave me a motel address on the edge of town. Against every ounce of logic, I got in my car and drove there. When I arrived, I saw him sitting outside, slumped on the curb, his face buried in his hands. He looked broken, like the life had been drained out of him. When he saw me, he stood up quickly, his eyes red and swollen. "You shouldn't have come," he said softly. "I shouldn't have done a lot of things," I replied. "But here we are." For a long time, neither of us spoke. The air between us was thick with years of betrayal, guilt, and silence. Finally, I asked, "Why, Adam? Why did you keep doing it? Was it worth it?" He shook his head. "No, I was jealous, that's all. You had everything. Career, respect, mom and dad's love. I thought if I could take something from you, I'd finally feel equal. But it never worked. Every time I hurt you, I felt worse. But I didn't know how to stop." His voice cracked. And for a second, I saw the brother I used to know. Not the manipulative man who ruined my marriage, but the kid who used to build blanket forts with me and sneak cookies before dinner. "You took everything," I said quietly, "and now you're asking for more." He nodded, tears rolling down his face. "I'm not asking for money. I don't have anyone else." For a moment, I felt pity. But then, like a wave, the memories hit. The night I heard him with my wife, the day my parents disowned him, the robbery. I stepped back. "I can't help you anymore," I said. "You made your choices. Now you live with them." He tried to grab my arm, but I pulled away. "Please, I'll die out here," he begged. "I've got nothing left." "You made sure I didn't either," I replied. "Goodbye, Adam." And I walked away. As I drove home, a strange calmness settled over me. For the first time in years, I felt done. Not healed, but empty in a peaceful way. I didn't want revenge. I didn't want him in my life. I just wanted distance. A week later, the police called. They found Adam's car abandoned near the cliffs outside town. Inside was a note. It was short, just a few lines written in shaky handwriting. Greater than, "Tell him I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ruin everything. I just wanted to be seen." They never found his body. The current was too strong. But deep down, I knew he was gone. The news broke me in ways I didn't expect. For days, I couldn't sleep. Guilt gnawed at me, whispering that maybe I should have done something. Helped him one last time. But then I'd remember everything he'd done, and the guilt would twist into anger again. It was a cycle I couldn't escape. I used a portion of what remained from the insurance to restore my parents' house. I fixed every broken thing, repainted the walls, replaced the shattered furniture. It was my way of reclaiming peace. I didn't tell anyone about Adam's death. The few people who knew, the police, a couple of distant relatives, kept their silence too. Months passed. Life started to feel normal again. I'd wake up, make coffee, sit by the window and watch the sunrise. It was quiet but peaceful. Then one morning I received a letter. No return address, just my name written in messy handwriting. I opened it and my heart stopped. Inside was a check for $1,950,000. Attached was a note. "From one fool to another. Turns out I couldn't go through with it. I took the money from the safe, yes, but I hid it before I left. You deserve it, not me. Don't waste your life on hate." For a long time, I just sat there. staring at the paper. I didn't know whether to cry, scream, or laugh. He was alive. Somewhere out there, Adam was still breathing, and for the first time in years, he'd done something selfless. I deposited the money, but I didn't touch it. Instead, I set up a charitable trust in my parents' name. The fund helps struggling young men rebuild their lives after addiction, loss, or homelessness. I called it the Second Chance Foundation. It felt right. The first person I helped was a 22-year-old kid named Liam. His story reminded me too much of Adam, charming, lost, and desperate for redemption. I saw in him what my brother might have been if someone had helped him sooner. And for the first time in a long while, I felt something like peace. Years have passed since then. I still live in the same house, but it feels lighter now. The ghosts have quieted. Sometimes when the wind blows through the trees, I hear faint echoes of laughter. Mine and Adam's, from when we were just kids before life became complicated. Do I forgive him? I don't know. Maybe forgiveness isn't a single moment, but a lifetime of learning how to live without hate,